Hello everybody, welcome back to the Stanley Parable. Now we should have more sliders this time. That one's already fine. So the dog and the cat are friends. That seems a bit too much. There's too many hearts. I think they're a bit more than friends at that point. We'll go back here. They look like friends at that point. So the number 5 becomes the number 9. Please adjust the slider until you stop adjusting the slider. Which of these two made-up words below is the most appealing? Scrumtush or Occuboinkle? I'd definitely go for Scrumtush just because I can pronounce it. Please don't adjust the slider. Do you know what time it is right now? No. It's like 1:30 around that time. Is the time that it is right now the correct time? Objectively, yes. What time is it anyways? I don't know. Is there anything about yourself that you haven't told me? Oh, there's plenty of things I haven't told you. Help. Sure. Will you come back to visit me? Probably. I don't think I have enough time to get through everything today. Cool. Begin the game, so to speak.
This is...
Okay. So, today, I am going to be using a walkthrough. Now, I know that might sound bad, but listen, I just don't want to wander around aimlessly trying to get new things to happen for like half an hour and then waste my time, alright? So we're just going to use a walkthrough. Let's see.
To the meeting room.
Boom.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy?
Definitely.
It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong.
Definitely.
This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend.
Can you even
Can't
get rid
hand
of
it
it?
over. Oh, no. We're getting into
don't
name-calling
think I
now, it
can.
seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends?
Unbelievable.
That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient?
It's
that your
completely
life
incorrect.
is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to
Completely
lay in
untrue.
your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never.
I never either.
Go on, Stanley. Lay into it.
Definitely.
Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments.
You got it.
Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as
Definitely.
they have changed and evolved over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Let him have it.
I think this is supposed to be an ending.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There.
Property
Now it's settled.
of Stanley.
No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Okay, this is probably the end of that. So it says to go up to the
Coming to a
office.
staircase, Stanley... You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it.
Sounds great.
We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them.
Yeah.
And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines.
Definitely
None
not.
of us can.
Nope. Anyways.
Began to sink in. Stanley decided that this machinery...
When you do this, you're just able to just kind of leave. And I think that's... I don't know, it says you...
Stanley in the bucket
achievement
waited in
that says
blackness.
you beat the Stanley Parable.
Was it over?
But apparently because you have the bucket, something different happens.
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away.
Okay.
Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth.
Interesting.
Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Okay. Alrighty, well, guess that's that. Okay.
Stepping in.
Nope. Okay. So this is to return to your desk. Said that the narrator would tell you to go to the manager's office, but I'm not seeing that. I'm not hearing that, I guess. Maybe it's later. This is very eerie, though. Can I pick up the bucket? I can. Hopefully that doesn't, like, mess with the ending. Huh. You are now leaving. Skate Pod Bay, floor 760. Skate Pod Launch Bay. Oh, that's not creepy at all. Okay. Don't tell me you're gonna put the bucket in and not yourself. There's enough room for you and the bucket. Just get in the pot. Oh my god. No bucket to hold us back this time, so get in the fucking pod, please. Oh, okay. For 23. Oh, I need to restart the game? I need to restart every time for these?
Great, he thought to himself. This is what I...
Okay. Welcome, Stanley, to heaven. There we go.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing.
I think I'm good.
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machine... But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again. Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy. Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing. Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator. Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly. No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing. Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears, and the whole time he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
I think we're approaching the end.
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be? Said Stanley. I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work. For months he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life.
An evening with World Peace Baby. Stanley, the man, the process, the myth, the legend, the parable. Stanley from the Stanley Parable. World's first sentient machine. To stage, bunch of threes. I mean, 3 is my favorite number.
One last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one.
Congratulations, Stanley. Remember where you came from, your coworkers. The dude who came up with pizza. Oh man, Stanley, you got some tough competition there. I'm sorry, but
there was no one here. Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak.
Damn.
To listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting. He was a failure. And in that moment, Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
It's a bit of a downer ending.
Section and walk straight ahead to the opposite.
Something different happens here.
Oh, good Stanley, I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
Huh. Adventure line, the baby, the mannequin, the broom closet, oh my gosh.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley.
Concerned about
We've
what?
come together here because we care about you very much.
Mm-hmm.
It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
The bucket isn't even
What's
from the original
problem
Stanley
with the
Parable.
bucket?
It's just sequel content.
That makes it
We're
better.
the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before.
I love you
yes,
all
I know
equally.
I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Oh, okay. What did I try the broom closet though? Ah. All right, let's follow the Adventure Line, I guess.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Yes, I remember this, yes.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue? Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Oh, whoa. Are you saying
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket.
No.
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
No.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you.
Makes cookies.
Go ahead now, Stanley. say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready. Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the bucket destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn
Destroyer
bucket.
Is not
Quickly
classic.
now,
it's
the fans
inferior.
are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and... Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent. And there it is, the last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here.
Okay.
And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
How nice. Huh. Okay. Huh.
Okay, this is day number 295, tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it.
I mean, it was pretty clearly explained that when you were holding the bucket, it made all your worries go away. There's even like a science diagram that explained exactly how the bucket works.
My arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket.
Interesting.
But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get me. What's that? Who's there?
It said the ending would be different if you didn't have the bucket, so we'll try that now. Probably just talks about, like, the voice in his head and how that doesn't make any sense.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause
What?
on things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most
What?
intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life?
Not really.
Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness?
No.
Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Okay. When Stanley found the collectibles. Okay. This is odd.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
What if I collect this one? Okay.
And here was a second Stanley. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Okay. Where am I supposed to be going? Oh, okay.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
Pretty sure it was this one.
No. The red and blue door room was the 4th place you found a Figanley, not the 3rd. Well, I guess perhaps I shouldn't be surprised. Memories like these are so precious and so cherished that they all just sort of blend together, don't they? You know what? If the red and blue door room feels like the 3rd place you found a collectible, then who am I to go making judgments? Let's see. What came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room.
We did
Oh,
not.
well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
The executive bathroom.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the boss's bathroom. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
By the narrator. What's that in there? This is so low resolution. It's mini stand number 5. Found it in the executive bathroom. That is correct. Thanks for watching. Okay. by the narrator, music by the narrator, produced by the narrator, best boy the narrator, starring Stanley.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Okay. What is going on here?
And then, Stanley, we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here in the warehouse. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others.
Probably.
Who can truly say how the mind works?
Who
All I know
knows?
is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Okay. What's the point of all this? You are in the present.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future.
Yep.
Goodbye, Memory Zone.
See you later. Is that it?
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Okay. How long are we gonna keep this bit going on?
Okay, yes. This spot in the warehouse. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
Okay. Are we gonna have to watch this video
And
again?
here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Yes. Okay.
Yes, I love that video. Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Pretty solid room, yeah.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Okay. Do I have to, like, stop collecting? For it to...
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember?
Start.
Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
I feel like that might be what's going on here.
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
So do we have to walk again? Or do we have to walk towards the exit? There's nothing here, so... Let's walk towards this exit sign, I guess? Huh. Okay.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office.
Okay.
Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office?
No.
There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
No.
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was I was different.
Okay.
I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then, somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions, he would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
This time without the bucket.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling.
Definitely.
It must be so simple to be you.
Definitely.
Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights.
Totally.
How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault. Unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here?
It's not a bucket.
What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay. Is this a bucket?
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
No, that's a cylinder.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket?
I'm just not too sure it is.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Now, this does seem like a toughie. I'd ask the audience, but there is nobody there. You know, something just looks off about it.
Incorrect.
Ooh.
This is a bucket.
Damn, I should have guessed that one. Damn.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
I feel like you're trying to trick me. That's definitely a bucket.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor.
It looks
it's
like
an
a bucket.
enormous machine that tills the earth.
Yeah,
I
it
thought this was
definitely
a
looks like a
gimmick.
bucket.
How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible.
I know.
Let's just move on to the next one. Is this a bucket?
See, I feel like they're trying to get me, you know, they tell me the previous one's not a bucket, and then they bring out a bucket, and they're trying to trick me to guess no, so I'm going yes.
Correct. This
See?
is a bucket.
I knew. See? Too smart for this game, too smart for this game.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
I'll go yes on this one.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
How is that even possible? How is it? You're not going to explain? How is that a bucket and not a bucket?
Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait,
bucket
when I
is
say
everything.
nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless, is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
If you try hard enough.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift.
Your third
Do any
eye
of us
is
know
opening.
What a bucket is?
Confusion
Am
is
I
a rather
bucket?
common symptom of this.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have
what?
that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay.
I'm not sure you
Here we
can do
go.
that.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything
I told you,
disappear?
man, everything is a
everything
bucket.
Every single thing in the game was a bucket.
Told you.
Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Okay.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear. We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self. The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket?
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No.
Said the bucket. Not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of...
No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like...
What?
My God, Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
Okay. Apparently, there's one more ending, which should be available. Epilogue. Okay, we'll do this. And then I think that's probably where I'll leave the Stanley Parable, to be honest. Because I feel like at this point we have definitely done everything. Many, many years later. I remember this place. Okay. Some good music. Memory of the Stanley Parable 2. There was a Stanley fig for a second. Cookie Nine's blog review of the Stanley Parable 2. Like so many, I enjoyed my time with the original Stanley Parable, which underscores how truly disappointed I am with its sequel. When the first game teamed with originality, Stanley Parable 2 is dull, uninspired, and often insulting to its fanbase. Rather than expand on what made the first game enjoyable, the sequel veers off into territory nobody asked for. An infinitely deep hole, who cares? Where are the new endings? What about enjoyable bits from Stanley Parable 1 like the adventure line? Instead, we get an uninspired side quest collecting figurines. Even this diversion feels incomplete. Collecting all the figurines gives you nothing. I must say, though, I found the bucket to be quite comforting. A welcome reprieve. Stanley Parable developers, no more spin-offs and no more sequels. No more massive successes. Many plans to disaster and critical commercial reception to the Stanley Parable 2 has prompted to rethink their ambitions. Is just not what fans want. We thought we had a vision for the series players would be excited about, yet it turns out we could not have been further from the truth. To preserve the artistic integrity of the original game and stop assaulting fans with our reckless and insulting creative visions, the word sorry appears more than 25 times in the press release.
Jim.
More Stanley figs. It's unbelievable. Thank you for enjoying the new content. Oh. Hello again. Oh my god! It's nice to see you too, man. It's terrible to learn that there will never be another Stanley Parable game. Did you read the developer said, preserve the integrity of the franchise? What nonsense. The Stanley Parable is not sacred. We do not need to protect it. Screw the legacy. Let's keep making Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. Turn this franchise into the ground. Let's drag it through the mud and back. And if people hate it, who cares? See, that was the narrator's problem. He was so obsessed with what people thought of his work. Don't make his mistake. Don't cling to the legacy. Let it burn. It's not hard. In fact, let me show you. Together we are going to make the Stanley Parable 3. It's simple. All we need to do is change the number in the game's title screen. We also need a really dumb subtitle for the game, something loud and gaudy. Try combining some random words together to make a new title for our game. Return to Stanley's Bow. Return to challenge. There we go. It's absurd. I love it. Every time you restart the game, we'll advance the number of the sequel by 1, and then we'll pick a new subtitle. That way, the Stanley Parable will never end, and if nothing, and nothing in the game itself will change when you do this either. Adding more content sounds like work. No need to do that. It'll just be the same content recycled again and again with a new title screen. What do you say? Should we go forward with this plan? I like it, but I want you to have a say as well. Don't do that. Sometimes we're not ready to move on. That's fine. If you ever change your mind and want to start inventing new sequels, come talk to me. I'll be right here. Well, it seems to be it. I got all the endings on the walkthrough, and we did this fun little epilogue, so doesn't seem like there's really anything else to do. So I'll just give my thoughts on the game, and that'll be it. It's alright. As you can imagine, the fact that I was using a walkthrough kind of shows that, like, I feel like it's not my thing, personally. It's not bad. As I said, I just didn't want to wander around aimlessly. After all, I felt like I did everything logically, right? You know, I went through both the doors, I fell off, I answered the phone, I unplugged the phone, you know, I did the full left, and I did the full right. Still missing a lot of achievements, but I'm not sure what else I would really need to do. But, I'm not worried about it, personally. I'll just collect them off screen, worst comes to worst, but, overall, I think it's a fine game. I don't regret playing it, I just, you know, didn't find it as interesting as I thought I might. It was definitely more interesting in the beginning, but it felt more, as it went on, I was more aimlessly just wandering around hoping to find more content, which I'm not a huge fan of personally. But as I said, overall, it's decent. It's a quick game too, you know, it's not like I had to spend 50 hours on it, which is nice. You know, wrapped up in about 4 hours, I think, so that's always good. Anyways, that is all for today. Hope you have a good day.